All right, we are recording and we're going to get started. Welcome everyone to the February 2018 AZ SharePoint Pros user group meeting. Today's topic is going to be on Flow, partially on Flow, and partially on customizing modern sites in SharePoint Online. Okay, so it'll probably be a little bit of a light intro to Flow. I'll show you a couple flows that I've made that I found useful, and I'll explain why I thought they were useful and that they're not anymore. But they'll give you an idea of what's there. So first things first, we'd like to thank DriveTime for sponsoring our user group, providing us with the space, the amenities. It's very nice to have an organization like DriveTime sponsor this for us. We've got great technology, plenty of room, and so we appreciate that and thank them for that. TEKsystems, our food sponsor, Nick and Charlene. Okay. Thank you for the food today, the pizza. Is there anything you wanted to talk about briefly regarding TEKsystems or some of the things you're doing, if you want to take a couple minutes?
Sure. So as I mentioned, my name is Charlene. I'm a newer IT applications recruiter with TEKsystems. For those of you who don't know, we are the nation's leading IT staffing and services provider. What I do is build and maintain relationships with IT professionals here in Phoenix, working to serve as a resource and help these people in jobs. We work with over 100 different companies here in Phoenix and 90% of the Fortune 500. If anyone has any questions about specific companies hiring, Nick and myself would be more than happy to talk with you about that.
Cool. Do you have cards that you can leave for us? Yep. We'd appreciate that if you could put a couple on the table or hand them out and shake hands, however you want to do it. Thank you. Next, Neudesic. Lester, you all know, most of you know, used to run these things. And Eric, also, Eric Boltz. I'm Eric Skaggs. I probably should have introduced myself, but I'm not that important. So Lester and Eric both worked for Neudesic, and as a result, Neudesic has renewed our Meetup website subscription for another 6 months. So, we'll continue to thank Neudesic for that through the duration. Okay, so some other things here. If you want to sponsor, not likely any of you do, or you want to speak, or you have topic ideas, I would like for you to contact me, please. Please, please, please. And it's going to be one of those things where if I don't hear from anybody, I'll start reaching out. Hey, Michael, you want to talk next time?
No, I'm good. But thank you.
He said no already, but I'm going to work on it. If you're not a member of the Meetup group, please join the Meetup. It's where we do our reservations, and we have some communication methods we take through there as well. And I don't know how long Meetup's going to be around. We got another 6 months. And I don't want to pay another $90. So I want to figure something else out or find someone to pay $90 for me. We'll see. Okay? I'll keep you posted on that. And again, any ideas related to this stuff, let me know. And if you haven't already, please join our LinkedIn group. I do have some things out there somewhere. Browser. This is the one I want. So here's our AZ SharePoint Pros LinkedIn group. I'll post things here from time to time, like when I posted the recording from last month. I put a note out there with a link to it on YouTube. Our Meetup, again, most of you are aware of this, I think. But please join that, especially if you're going to be here in person, because we kind of gauge the amount of food we get and all that based on the number of RSVPs. So we've got 19 RSVPs. And, not all of them show up, and that's the way it goes, and that's fun.
Wait, so people who aren't attending in person, are they supposed to RSVP them or not?
That's a good question. If you're not attending in person, should you RSVP? I would say yes, that's fine. And I say that because we probably will do something different in the future once our Meetup subscription's up. So RSVP, totally cool, and we'll just manage it on our own aside from that. Announcements. This was last month's announcement. So Lester stepped down, and now I'm kind of the organizer, logistical person. Let me know what you need, what I can do. Tonight's agenda, as we talked about flow, we're going to start with flow, and that'll be a separate recording. And then we're going to go to some modern site customizations. Before we start talking about flow, I'm going to talk about flow. Yes, I meant that. So one of the sample flows I'm going to show you is the one you see here on the screen, where when I was at Ignite in 2017, I had the privilege to go to Ignite. Those of us that went, some of us were using Twitter for one thing and Twitter for another thing, and so I kind of got the guys together and I said, hey, why don't we just use a common hashtag for things that we want to centralize and hold on to. So we used the hashtag CatapultIgnite. And then I had this flow set up so that anything we tweeted, again, some of the guys were tweeting to just Twitter, and some were like wanting to post it elsewhere as well, so they'd manually copy paste their tweet into Yammer or whatever. It's what we do. But I created a flow and I just said, just tweet it. I'll take care of the rest. I'll put it in Yammer. I'll put it in Teams. So I'll show you that. And then we're going to talk about some modern site customizations. The idea here is we have themes, scripts, and designs. Kind of in that order. There's variation there. But what are themes, scripts, and designs? The way that I think about it in my head is themes are your colors, scripts are your actions, and then your design implements it in the UI. Gives you a UI interface, integration point. So we'll see some of that tonight. And then if we have time, I would like to talk through this a little bit. It's something from the PMP team, the Patterns and Practices team at Microsoft, where they have, using Flow and Azure, webhooks, all this other stuff, they've kind of built out a story where you can have somebody create a site in SharePoint Online, a modern site, that triggers a flow, that puts something in Azure, that then runs a script to customize that site further. And once this is all said and done, it's kind of fully baked and integrated into the UI, and it's not like you have to sit there and run code all day or run scripts every so often. It's in the user interface, and it's kind of self-service site creation at that point. So there's some really cool stuff happening from the PMP team as usual. And if we have some time, I'd like to talk about a little bit about that. Then we'll have hopefully some open time for Q&A. And the way Q&A is going to work, for those of you in the room, you'll ask a question. I'll repeat it for those of you online. Or I might forget, but I'll try to do that. And we'll talk through it. Okay, so with that, we have somebody coming in late. Nope. I'm going to stop the intro recording.